Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Here is Mr. Smolinski. I'm racing for the Birmingham Brummies, and you're at the moment listening to the Speedway show on BIKERfm.
Well, there we go. We are live now on BIKErfm Speedway show with the man who has got the favourite jingle of our producer Suggsy for the whole of 2012, Martin Smolinski. Martin, welcome to the show, mate.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the call, and good evening all together.
Yeah, it's great to have you on board with us this evening, and I suppose the first thing we need to check out is how your winter's been. Have you had a nice, relaxing winter? I can't imagine anything's relaxing for Martin Smolinski.
Yeah,
you're a busy boy.
I would say I'm quite a busy boy. I've been working very hard over the winter. I got a lot of stuff running. I'm working a lot of stuff with vintage cars and vintage engines, and I'm quite also looking for my future. You know, it's not just sitting down in the winter and doing nothing and getting all the bikes ready, and I'm working very hard on myself to losing weight again and get fit for a new season, because I want to beat also Jonas Korpi. I want to be long track world champion this year.
Yeah, came very close last year.
Yeah, I came very close, but I mean, I didn't been strong enough beginning of the season, and but I think this year we are quite, everything is very good set up, and I got some new frames and everything, and my personal health is very good. I'm going 5 days a week in the gym. And I'm very, very looking forward for this season.
In relation to coming to Birmingham, when are you coming across to the UK?
I just think we'll cross and come over, 2 or 3 days before the press and practice. I'm going out for practice on the 10th and 11th, I think, of March in Kloppenburg in the north of Germany, then staying there at my sponsors at the ATS-VST. It's a logistic company. And after that, I will drive over with a friend of mine going to England, and so I just be ready for the press and practice.
And last year at press and practice, everyone was amazed by how spectacular your bikes looked. Very different to a lot of other people's in the pits. Are you going for something similar or something different this year?
It looks a bit different this year. I just changed some small things, but I'm still having still having my own things on the bike, so it still looks a bit different, and but I think I go a bit this year, going a bit more similar to other bikes, because it's sometimes easier to work with it, and everything has to go very fast, so I just changed some small things, but I still have my own handwriting on the bike, so you will see the bikes are still looking different.
That's good. And the second year for you, coming back to Birmingham Speedway, how did you really enjoy that year, last year with Birmingham? Beginning of the season I was very happy, and I could make very good points, but I didn't really, come on to the point what I want to do. It never really worked out. I had very often been unlucky when I had just leading in front, and we had a race off and rained off and all the stuff, and then I just had some good heats and good meetings, and it get cancelled, or there was some crashes in my heats very often, so I just couldn't really make the points what I want to do. And I was struggling with the end of the season. I was quite a bit, I would say, tired, and we had a lot of problems with all the stuff, what goes on in the background. But I think the way how it's acting at the moment and the cooperation with Birmingham, I'm very pleased to be back at Birmingham. When everything is running very good, I really enjoyed it last year, and I just this year, I think all my team, I know everyone, I know all the tracks, my mechanics know how I'm working, and I think we're a very good team at the moment, and we can make a step forward to last year. So you like the look of the team that's been put together for this year?
Yeah, the team is very, very English, I would say. There are a lot of English riders in it, but maybe they all know how to race in England, and they, the same like my person in Germany. I think not many people can really beat me over here, because I just feel like home, and that's the way how they are. If you look about Harris or Bomba, they just feel like home, and they just know what they want to do, and they just want to show their own fans what they can do. And I want to do the same, just to go over there and show what I can, and just make a step forward and go a bit better. I want to make a big step in average, and just show what I can.
One of the things that you touched on there was the rain-offs and stuff last year, because there was a lot of that, and for somebody with quite a busy calendar like yourself, it can be hard to spend all that time travelling over to the UK only for meetings to get rained off and stuff, and fingers crossed the weather is better this year. But we've had some questions in, surprisingly, from one of your number one fans, which is Wendy.
Yeah, it's quite hard just to all about the rain offs. I don't mind really rained offs, but I've been last year twice on the track, or middle of the season, we had some tracks where I would say the tracks is raceable, And I was coming, and one day I come to a track and I didn't get any call. I just, they called my mechanics, but they didn't, there was no communication to me. And I'm standing in front of the gate. It was a Thursday evening, 5:30. The gate was closed. The sun was shining, blue sky, and no one was there, So that was for me very hard to understand why we couldn't race.
Yeah.
End of the season is the other point. We had sometimes a very dodgy weather, and it was the track's been very heavy, and I would say the track's been unraceable. And we've been out on the track and we was racing, I don't mind it to race on a bad track. For me, it's just the problem. I want to see the fans, And what you can tell a fan when, you say, oh, we have a rain off today, but we have at 5 a.m., there's a blue sky.
Yeah.
So this is quite, what is bad, quite a bit bad for the sport, So we have to work together and see how it's track and trying to get every meeting on what we have, and don't just change any meetings.
Do you think it would be fair to say that last year, towards the end of the season, there was a lot of Speedway meetings that took place that under normal circumstances, if the schedule wasn't so busy, would definitely have been rained off? Yes,
and this is what is not really, I don't think this shouldn't be like it is, we can race, why we can race end of the season this bad weather, why we can't race mid-season this a bad weather. This is for me sometimes not understandable, I'm not in the headquarters of the persons. I'm not a race director or I'm not a referee, but I think sometimes I just see it as a person, and I just see the fans. When I see a fan, I'm standing there, and he was coming, and he don't really think, okay, we have a blue sky, and I'm coming over, and there's no race. Why? You can't explain it to no one because you have blue sky. Where's the problem?
Yeah. Well, one of the questions that Wendy's sent in for you in relation to your racing here and elsewhere in the world last year is how many meetings did you compete in overall last season? Did you keep a log of how many meetings you did altogether?
In the past year, I had 87 meetings, and 87 race meetings. Out of the 87 race meetings, I had 16 rained offs. Plus it comes all together. I got a lot of merchandise stuff for doing around what I'm doing for my sponsors. I'm going out for expedition, like big shows, where I'm sure what I can do, like coming to sponsors, and they have a day open, so going there, signing autographs, and making a burnout show, or drifting around a little bit in a small part of a circle. So, and even this, all this stuff what I'm doing around, and with radio interviews, I'm coming up to 120 or 130 appointments, or days what I have in the whole year where I have to be with all the dates what is in, and then if you have some rain offs, even the meetings, you can figure out everything very good. But the problem is sometimes if anything changes, you're going up and you sign up for a sponsor, you say, I'm coming around and I'm doing a show there. And then you have 2 days later, you say, I can't come because we've got a rain off, so I'll be racing on the next day, So it's very hard sometimes to set up all your life over the whole season.
Yeah, I suppose sometimes it can make you look unprofessional yourself, even though it's sort of beyond your control.
Yes, but it is, some people don't really understand it, because they're making advertising with my name, I'm in the papers, and then I'm not there. So this is sometimes very hard to explain to other people.
Yeah. Has that ever cost you sponsors or anything because of those kind of situations?
I had one sponsor, he wasn't happy about the situation, but I was quite lucky because it was a show that goes over 5 days, and I could arrange it to be there 1 day later. So it was quite, I wouldn't say if I couldn't be there, I got a show bike, I have some separate bikes for it, I got some show bikes and everything was there, set it up, I had a whole stand there and the bike was there, but no Martin was there, they can have the best show, they can have the best movies running in there, but the people want to see me, and this is sometimes very hard, but I could be there, I was lucky a day later, and so everything was arranged, so he was at the end happy.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't really work out how it should be, because a lot of people are just coming to, if they know I'm there, they're just booking off a day and just coming and see me and have a chat with me, and this is quite nice, And if you can't come, or if you can't work with a diary or the way how they advertise the show or the autograph hour, this is sometimes a bit bad.
Mm. And how does that compare the meetings that you had last year? How's your schedule looking in relation to being busy for 2013? How many meetings have you got sort of penciled in so far?
At the moment, I think the good thing is we have 10 meetings less than last year in England, because there's no Crazy Shield, so one of the two, or the Knockout Cup, it's not anymore in there.
Yeah.
And so it's quite good, but I think I'm coming up again up to 80 meetings, And the way what I'm doing or what my company is doing with all the works and all the marketing stuff, we are also very busy. So I'm already booked for some shows, so it's quite, and I'm just having some weekends already free, or just like a weekend where I just make a show to be there for the fans and for sponsors, and, just to get seen and, just be there, and, it's quite very, very important that people see me, It's not just, they don't want to see my bike, they just want to see me and have a talk with me, Because that's a good thing on the Speedway sport, that's the only sport where I can go even after the race. The kids can come over and they say, hey, I want to have a talk to Martin or to Chris Harris and just sign an autograph or make a picture or get a hug, If I'm going to, Formula 1 or if I go to another motorsport, you can't really come up to the races, even if I know them,
Yeah, they're not really accessible, are they, really, compared to Speedway?
Yeah, you don't really have the chance to see any one of them. I've got some good friends. They're playing ice hockey over here in Germany. I'm quite good friends with Carl Crutchlow, who used to race in MotoGP. He's from Coventry, and it's nearly impossible to see him on a race day, because he's very busy with all this time schedule and on a speedway, It's a sport for everyone, old people, young people, and they're just, first you're going out there, like the people at the races, they're going out with their mad hats, racing elbow on elbow, just risking their life, and afterwards they're just coming over in the bar and have a chat, This is very incredible, I
know, as well as the UK calendar for yourself and your long track, you've also possibly got some meetings in Poland this year.
Yeah, I'm also signed up a contract in Poland, but I'm also signed up the contract because it's quite, I want to make a step back into the Polish league, but I'm only race if I got time, because I'm quite busy over here in Germany, because I'm on a race, I'm trying to do so much meetings as I can in Germany, and if there's a free weekend, I make the Polish league, so it's quite, there's not a big difference to last year, so it sounds a bit more busy, but I'm keeping the whole mind, my biggest goals are this year just to be long track world champion. This is the biggest goal, because this is what is reachable, and I'm not far away from it. And also just want to make a lot of points for the Birmingham Brummies.
The Polish league always looks really exciting to me when you see it on the TV and stuff. It looks almost like sort of Grand Prix size crowds. For yourself as a rider, do you prefer to ride over there or the UK, or what are the main differences?
It's very hard to say about the Polish league, because the pressure in the Polish league is very, very hard, and even the racing, what you see is just sometimes you have to race such hard, because if you not race such hard, you can't get a place in there. And it's very exciting. The Polish league is very hard, but it's very hard to say anything. But I'm quite pleased to be there. It's just nice. It's very professional also over there. But even there's also a lot of problems with payment sometimes in Poland. You have even it's not all about the show what you have on television. Even the backgrounds are sometimes also not so nice. I more want to work together with a club where I know what goes on, that I get paid in time, and I do my work, and I think no one want to go for work, or I think there's no people in the world who go 2 months to work and don't get any money for it, and I'm going 2 months and risking every weekend or every day of my life, I don't get paid for it. This don't make fun.
We've just had a Twitter message that's come through for you, which is from Pete, and he says, "Good luck at Birmingham. Have a great season. Welcome back, Martin. Fantastic news." So the Birmingham fans, pleased to have you back.
Yeah, I think a very good build up, a good cooperation end of the end of the last season with the Birmingham fans, and it's just and every time try, if I got the time, just to be after race, go short in the bar and have a see what goes on there. It's sometimes a bit of shame that they closed the bar such early, because we riders, we're just coming in and we can have maybe, I don't even sometimes got time to have a drink, I'm walking in and they close the desk, so it's sometimes a bit bad. They should open it maybe 20 or 40 minutes longer, so it's worth it to stay in there. Maybe you can just go out there and make a small of a, turning around the turntable so we can have a bit fun over there and just making a better cooperation with the fans.
Certainly, yeah.
Hi Martin, it's Paul here. Obviously long track is a big focus for you for 2013. How do you compare the Grand Prix setup with the long track, with the organisation of Speedway? Is it coming on a long way?
It's not too bad, because all the tracks are around. You can everything reach by the car. I got a very good team behind me. I got some good people over here in Germany who are driving my vans. I have 2 vans. One van is running in England and one van is running over here in Germany, and it's quite from the logistics system, it's very simple, It's just if you know how it works and how you have to do it, and even if I've got a meeting, I would say, on a Saturday evening in France, and then I'm racing on a Sunday in the north of Germany, I got a very good sponsor, it's DHP Bau, and they just, I can pick up the van and just, I've got a third van that I can use, so my second team can go over in the north, and I just fly from point to point, so it's just, the biggest problem is to organize everything beginning of the year in the winter, to get everything set up, and I have next weekend a big team meeting with all my fans, all my team together. We just around 20, 25 people who are just working in the background, who are just sometimes driving the van, helping me out in the workshop, going to the meeting. So it's just, we just have a sit together next week and just arrange all the new season, and everything looks in its timetable and see, I'm doing this weekend, I'm doing this weekend. So it's not too much for everyone, and if everything is good organized, it's no problem.
Yeah, well, it's really good to hear how professional and how much your setup is. In terms of the long track, I see that the World Team Cup is actually in the UK this year. Are you looking forward to that? Will you be part of it?
Yeah, of course. I think the plan is I want to be part of it because I just want to show also my English fans what I can do on the grass or on the long track. And I had my biggest victory in England. I was winning the European Championship at Skegness 2 years ago. On the grass track, so that was also very nice. And this year we have the World Team Cup in England, and Germany won the World Team Cup the last 4 or 5 years, I think. And I got 2 gold medals on the long track, so it's very, very nice. And it's also just nice to be there. I'm hoping the team boss, he say I can race in the meeting, but I'm planning to do it because we already talked about it. It's quite a good time, so I can bring over the bikes, and everything is quite organized.
So in terms of the World Team Cup, how about riding for Germany in the Speedway one? Is it again something that Germany are looking to push forward on?
Yeah, I think this year we're going to the qualifying round to Latvia. I mean, we are every time very strong in the qualifying rounds in the main heats. When we go up to the World Team Cup, the most people were asked, they're sometimes a bit scary when I'm standing next to each. I would say when they're standing next to Jason Crump, and they sometimes can't really make the points. And we are a very good team, and we have a lot of good riders, but they're not really, sometimes I would say they're sometimes not strong enough to just be in a very tough match, And we've been last year at King's Lynn, and I hope maybe we can come this year. If we win at Dauerfeld at Latvia, we're also going again to King's Lynn, I think, but I'm not sure. And it's quite it's very hard way for us, because in Germany, speedway sport is a bit different, we don't really have the backgrounds from the government or anyone here. Just everyone is just on his own. Even it's very hard with the federation, because we are just a very small point in the German federation. We have the German DTM. We have got all the supercross, the motocross, all the superbikes. What they're doing over here, they're very popular in the federation, and we are just a very short point of it, so we can't really have a big background. But we're also working very hard together, and I think we're trying to make a step forward.
Yeah, and there does seem to be a sort of a new generation of German speedway riders at the moment, isn't there? So, it's certainly working in some respects.
Yeah, it's going to be very good. I mean, now I was starting in the year, I think it was 2004, it was 2004 when I come over to England the first time. I was at this time 18 years old, and 2005 I signed a contract for the Coventry Beast, and I was the first German speedway I signed, I think 10 years, who raced in the Elite League. And even then I went to Sweden in the Elite League, I went to Poland in the Elite League, so I just opened the doors a little bit for everyone, and they just could see that even the German ones can race very good speedway. And it goes to be a very good team. We got Tobias Kroner, we got Christian Haffenbrock, we got Kevin Wolbert, who signed just for Bellevue. So I think we are quite good what we can, It's just everything takes a bit longer time. When you see, I think Ingo Müller, he was 34 years when he won the World Championship.
So we've got quite a few questions come in, so we're going to have to do go a bit quick fire.
Okay.
So here we go. We'll go for one of Wendy's first of all, and she says, "What do you think of the UK asset system?"
It's very hard. I don't really see a real point in it, because I only can be an asset when a club pay me monthly. I mean, I see it now from a business way and not from the English speedway. If they pay me monthly a fee, I'm the asset of a club. If they're not paying me the international rules, I can't be asset, because they can't offer me, you have to work, you're not allowed to work there, because if they don't pay me, they can't talk about my personal thing. This goes to be I had a talk about this when you go with a lawyer, the name is a lawyer, and it's a very unstrictly rule, I think, what is in the English league. I mean, when you're a football player, just turn around and you say, okay, I want to change my contract, I go somewhere else, you can go. Or in the ice hockey, is it very similar? If they pay you every monthly some money, they can't really say you're my asset, but if they don't pay me anything, why should be an asset?
Okay, we got one from your team manager, Phil Morris, and he's basically put on Twitter, he says to ask you about your cross-dressing during the winter.
Again? About my?
Cross-dressing.
About my cross-dressing?
Yeah, dressing up as a lady.
I didn't been crossed up like a lady.
No? Okay.
I've just been dressed up like, we have some, it's called like Carnival over here in Germany, and I just been dressed up as Karl Lagerfeld, I had like, that thing everybody was meeting, I had like a white dress on, and but I didn't be dressed up like a lady. Maybe he was sawing the lady who was next to me, so.
Maybe. That's cool. We've got, I understand you're star in a movie, Speed, Mud and Glory Extreme Speedway. Someone's asked, is that going to be available on DVD?
Yes, it goes to be available on DVD, but normally the plan was the movie goes out before the season, but the company who doing the movies, they've been quite busy with some other things, and they have everything ready to run, and but before we're just making everything rushing around, we want to have at the end of the season as a big show, and it takes a little bit of time until the movie goes into the cinemas. We have 2 or 3 cinemas over here in Germany who want to play the cinemas, and after that the movie will goes on DVD, inclusive an English subtitle. Okay.
Another quick question. It says Willing in Germany has been recommended as a good place to watch you racing grass track.
Okay, yes.
Do you agree, or is there any other better tracks to watch grass track and you racing there?
Willing is a different atmosphere. Willing is a very nice, relaxed atmosphere. It's like a race like it was, I would say, 20 years ago. All the people are very easy, relaxed. There's no rushing around. They're very strictly. They're very organized, and it makes very fun there, but there's not a big pressure there. They just they take it very easy, and it makes very fun to race there, even for me. I really like the track. It's a very short, it's a 400-meter grass track, and sometimes I have to bike. You have to turn the bike very hard down to even go into the corners. But even a real track really makes fun to watch a nice grass track is like also BIKErfm. It's one of the, my hero was racing there. It was Simon Wick. He was the man who was winning there when I was a small boy, and I love to race there. It's a very nice 700 meters grass track, and I think one of the nicest, the safest, and the nicest thing around there. It's like a big celebration there, like for 2 days, and you can really make, for the fans, they can really make party there and have fun and even enjoy the racing. So there are some very nice, even the tracks that we have in Germany, they're a bit different, build it up, In England, you're coming to a meeting at, I would say, 6 o'clock in the evening, and you're leaving at 10. In Germany, you can go there at lunch, at lunchtime, or even some people want to watch the practice in the morning, between 10 and 12 is most time practice, and in the afternoon is the race, and afterwards most time there's a big beer tent, there's a celebration, there's a bit of party, just a bit of come together, like a big fun fair.
It sounds really good, Martin. We're down to about the last 60 seconds of your interview time. We've had lots and lots of messages coming in for you. I thought we would because you're a popular rider. We've had a message from Andy Falconer at BrummyBoy28 who said, glad that Martin Smolinski is back with the Brummies. Can't wait to see more of his wheelie celebrations for the Brummies in 2013. We've also had one from at Colin Said who says, Martin Smolinski forecast live on the TV last year in September that the Brummies would reach the playoff. He was true to his word, so thank you very much. We've had a message from GA who says, it's great to hear you on BIKErfm, Martin. Did you know that the Birmingham Brummies have their own Speedway show? And is there any chance you'd go on there to do an interview?
Yeah, no problem. Why not?
Okay.
I'm over in the UK today. I'm always open for everything, just to it's just there to support the sport. Even how more people are coming in, how more people paying entry, how more how more money I can ask. What I get. So.
Brilliant. And then to finish off with, mate, as I'm sure you're aware, you've got one very, very big fan who helps you out with a little bit of sponsorship as well at Birmingham Speedway, which is Wendy, and she's celebrating her birthday on the 25th of this month, and she said, could you ask Martin to wish me happy birthday?
Yeah, I'll try my best if I don't forget it, but I'm quite busy in next weeks, just to get everything running, but I'm trying my best to make it.
Great stuff. Martin, it's been great to have you on the show tonight, mate.
Thank you very much.
I hope we can catch up with you maybe a few times if we
no
can
worries.
find a little gap in your calendar during the season, and hopefully
we can arrange it.
I hope you have a great season in 2013, mate. I look forward to seeing you at Birmingham at Press and Practice Day, mate.
Yes, I'm also looking forward to see all the fans and everyone just to be back at Birmingham.
Great stuff. See you soon then, Martin.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you very much. Have a nice
Cheers,
evening.
Martin.
Cheers.
Okay, mate.
Bye-bye.